for the House. The Manager of Opposition Business has indicated to me he's been misrepresented.
A number of times.
Start with the first. It claimed to have been misrepresented.
I do. Mr Speaker, last week the Environment Minister issued a statement claiming I had welcomed the super trawler to Australia and was not responsible for it being banned. The facts are these. When the super trawler MV Margiris first came to Australia, there was no power under environmental law to refuse it entry. I introduced amendments to this House to provide the Environment Minister, who was then me, with the power to ban the super trawler. Those laws were put to the House on the 13th of September 2012, with the member for Kooyong and the member for Flinders voting against them. Once the laws were in place, I used them and the super trawler left Australian waters. Mr Speaker, I seek to make a personal explanation.
Does the Manager of Opposition Business claim to have been misrepresented?
Again, yes. Mr Speaker, last week on Radio National, the Minister for the Environment claimed that his government was not reducing environmental protection in the oceans on the basis that I personally had only introduced draft management plans in 2012. This is incorrect. In 2012, final management plans for marine reserves were made legislative instruments. The minister should be aware of this, as they were subject to disallowance votes, and he personally voted 6 times that they be disallowed. On each occasion, the disallowance vote failed. Mr Speaker, I seek to make a personal explanation.
Does the Manager of Opposition Business claim to have been misrepresented?
I do. Mr Speaker, last week the Minister for the Environment issued a statement that I had never properly introduced management plans for marine parks because they, quote, didn't pass the disallowance period in the Senate in 2013, end quote. Mr Speaker, there is no such thing as a requirement for a legislative instrument to have to pass a disallowance period in order to become operable. It is law immediately and continues to be so unless disallowed. The management plans I introduced were not disallowed. Considering the minister has registered 85 legislative instruments, I would have thought he was aware of this. Mr Speaker, I seek to make a personal explanation.
Does the Manager of Opposition Business claim to have been misrepresented?
I do. Mr Speaker, on the 22nd of March, on a Radio National report on marine parks dealing with the consultation I had personally undertaken in 2012, the Minister for the Environment, Minister Frydenberg, claimed that I had made the decision, quote, without proper consultation, and fisherman Bruce Davey stated that I had personally made the decision, quote, without even consulting with any fishermen. Any claim that I did not adequately consult on marine parks is false. I undertook 6 rounds of consultation, held 250 stakeholder meetings, personally attended by over 2,000 people, received almost 750,000 submissions, which is almost 6 times more submissions than the minister's process received. Even the government's own hand-picked review panel found that my consultation had been extensive, with a common initial comment in the report saying, quote, we've already been through this, can't we just get on with it, end quote. And with respect to the criticism made by the fisherman Mr Davey, not only did I consult with fishermen, on the Sunday the 6th of May 2012 in Cairns, I personally consulted with him to conduct a meeting about the marine parks.
Members on my left.